Alright guys, we're back again for yet another video, and excuse the second video about guild quests, but like, one thing that I kinda did not notice when going over the Nightmare guild quest returning next week is the fact that they have now decided to separate these following GQ rotations. They completely detached Squad Zero from Human, and they've also detached Quincy from Sternritter. By that, I mean now they'll have their own separate rotations, meaning that you're not going to be able to use some specific characters for these specific guild quest rotations. Now, let's just take a look. Now, we already have, what's coming next week. Next week, we're going to have Melee No Affiliation and then Ranged Quincy, which we've already gone over. So yeah, if you have Ulquiorra and Ruruka, you're good. Just run Mana Orihime as the boost unit, and you should be able to clear, given that you have the units, of course. But going over here, look. See this? Human Killer now is completely detached from Squad Zero Killer, meaning that you cannot use Macy here. That being said, for now, Human Killer is still allowing you to use both ranged and melee attacking characters altogether. And the reason why they are still keeping them so that way you can use both melee and ranged characters is because the roster of characters is currently not that good that they decided to keep them, divided in one category. Now, it'll happen eventually that they'll split Human Killer into two more rotations, one being melee and one being ranged. So prepare for the worst for when that happens once we get more characters. But yeah, Soul Reaper's still the same, Espada and Captain's still the same, Oranka as well. Quincy, again, divided. And then we go and keep on moving down. Squad Zero, on the other hand, yeah. You're still going to be able to use the Squad Zero killers, but you cannot use Human Killers whatsoever. And it's another one of those rotations where it has its own rotation now, so yeah. Sternritter Killer, on the other hand, it has the same case as Human Killer. So you can use both the ranged and the melee attacking characters for the rotation, because if you take a look at the roster of ranged Sternritter Killer, again, it's also going to be quite bad because there's only 2 characters in the roster available. So, yeah. I don't know what to say for this one because we're kind of back to square one. And I don't think this was a really good move. And yeah, this is Sternritter Killer ranged, and it's such a meme that it's not even funny. It's got nothing, no good units. So I'm glad that they didn't separate the guild quest for now. But in the event it does happen, we need more characters for it because it's not in a good spot whatsoever. So yeah, here's how Sternritter Killer is looking as a whole. You can use everyone, thankfully, on the rotation. But for now, you don't have a really powerful NAD unit. Chad, he can still put in numbers, but the moment you inflict status elements with True Shikai Ichigo, he's doing no damage. He's playing like as if he has Flurry +1, and that's it. And then the other NAD units, Yama and Tsuki, they only have 20% Bruiser. They're weak. They're just not usable for guild quests, if you guys ask me. And the fact that you need to bring both of them, yeah, no bueno, no bueno. Like, you can still clear very hard, but Nightmare, I do see it being a bit of a problem trying to solo clear this with just Chad boosting you. So, yeah, not looking very good. And if you guys don't have True Shikai Ichigo, you guys are pretty much screwed over for Sternritter Killer overall. Alright, what about Human Killer? Like I said, this is another one of the rotations in which it is now completely divided, but it's still allowing you to use both the melee and range characters. And you have Quincy Ichigo that you can use, but that's pretty much about it. NAD units, you have the Safui Sajin that you can use. Like, he'll at least put in some work since he has, like, what, Flurry +2? And then there's Geo. So yeah, you do have some NAD units that you can actually make usage out of, just no boosting characters. So in this case, once again, you're gonna have to bring characters like Mana Orihime and whatnot. So yeah. And now let's just go over Quincy and see the overall characters that you guys can use. So the ranged one, like I said, we have Ulquiorra and Ruruka. It still needs more. There's definitely that. But yeah. What about the melee aspect of things? Oh, this is so sad that you cannot use True Shikai Ichigo anymore, but you will still have access to like Yama, Noitora, and Ichibei. But Melee Quincy is not in a good spot whatsoever now because of this change. You have no NAD units. There's literally none. Just none. Basically, Melee Quincy reverted back to what a Range Squad Zero human used to be, where it just had SP units and no NAD units, no boosters, no nothing. Like, you don't even have a specific booster. So you're kind of forced to bring Mana or Hime whatsoever, but you don't even have a good second unit to help back up the other characters, which is terrible. Like, wow. Jesus. Not that good. And then Squad Zero, let's just take a good clean look at it, the melee aspect of things. You at least have Yumichika with Tsukishima, and of course if you don't have Yumichika, you can still use the likes of Safui Tosh. So there's something here, but like, it isn't exactly the best. And then the ranged aspect of things, pretty much we're looking at the same exact scenario, where it's just one character and one NAD character. Although, to be fair, the melee one also has Safui Tosh that you can still make usage out of. But you can't even use the Tatsukis anymore. You need Ikaku more than ever now. This just pisses me off because I did skip the banner, knowing that I'll eventually pull this character down the line and I can do pretty well. Because right now, this is just... wow. I don't know what to say about this one, lads. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. I'm not a big fan of how they split the GQs again. Like, there are some rotations in which we need more characters. Now Melee Quincy is currently one of the worst GQ rotations out there. Like, you can still use Yama, you can still use Ichibei, you can still use Noitora, but the problem here is, where are the NAD characters? In Nightmare, I see that being very, 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 very problematic. Very hard. Let's say you do have one of the characters max transcended. I do think that it's possible to clear very hard, but we'll see. They're definitely gonna have to develop some characters now. I'm not a big fan of the idea. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys all in the next one. So have a pleasant day, lads. Peace out. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao.